One thing you kind of notice is that, feds are like cockroaches. You see one outside the walls, there's probably 10 behind the walls that you don't see.
My friend from Florida just described federal law enforcement officers as cockroaches.
When that is not a scientific finding.
But we will still have multiple Republican members of this committee having asked President Donald Trump for pardons in connection with
gentleman from Florida.
Mr. Gaetz, that would include you, Mr. Gaetz.
I tell you what, Mr. Jones,
that would include
we'll have a great time. We'll have a great time on this committee.
You can edit video. You can open and unlock an iPhone. That can be very difficult for others. Especially in Congress. I'm just glad to be in a room where I'm one of the oldest people.
Because I don't think anybody really sets out to score some fentanyl for a good time. I get why it's hard to keep cocaine from coming into the country. People in the United States like using cocaine. They seek it out. They pay high dollar amounts for it. And so that would be something hard to stop. They don't want to fund the police. They want to addict the police to the federal dollar. So do not buy this theory that this legislation is intended to help law enforcement. The best thing we could do for law enforcement is get out of their way, have their back.
I didn't know that the federal government funding police was against the Republican Party position.
Does he have time to speak? He's made it.
Of course, I don't believe they're cockroaches. I was describing their propensity to be behind the wall, invisible or not. And so,
would you withdraw that comment, calling feds cockroaches? Would you withdraw that?
My characterization wasn't intended to be derogatory.
Yeah.
It was intended to describe what a Florida man would realize about the propensity to see something when there's others behind the wall. But what I've come to learn is that this bill is actually an immigration bill in drag. With a border that has been converted to a turnstile, I don't think we should make it harder for the administration of an immigration system that would stop people from coming to our country.
This amendment is completely, frankly, absurd.
This has nothing to do with immigration. Don't struggle too hard to try to figure out the amendment. This is an effort to take a piece of legislation that will make communities safer by allowing people to successfully re-enter and jam in an immigration question so they can be on Fox News talking about immigration. Let's be honest. I yield back.
I'll assure my friends and colleagues that one does not require a right-on-crime bill to go on Fox News and talk about immigration.
Oh, we know that.
One would simply have to go to Martha's Vineyard.
We understand.
And see deportation work.
See human trafficking at work. Yes, no question about it.
Efficiency.
Yes.
And I'd like some of that back because a good chunk of it was stolen.
The gentleman from New York has the time.
Just like the election.
President Trump should pardon Michael Flynn. He should pardon the Thanksgiving turkey. He should pardon everyone from himself to his administration officials to Joe Exotic if he has to, because you see from the radical left a bloodlust that will only be quenched if they come after the people who worked so hard to animate the Trump administration